uphold the father as revered patriarch. This is not a popular idea these days. And if you want your family to be multi-generational, guys, these are going to sound counterintuitive, but a respected father sets a noble example for his sons to emulate. The family honors his leadership, fostering a culture of respect, high standards where disrespect is not tolerated, and the patriarch models integrity. So one of the things that like you have to uphold as a patriarch if you want to get this respect, and this is the thing that basically men want. They need to be respected. This is why Paul commands wives to respect your husbands because he is like got this empty bucket called like, does anybody respect me? And that's why when your wife rolls her eyes or anything, it's just like the world ends because like he operates from a sense that there is like I am being respected in my house, and from that posture, if he believes in the Lord, if he's gospel, if he wants to lead his family well, if you fill that bucket, he becomes a noble man, right? And the family needs to be led by noble men and cherish the mother as the family's heart. This is a really beautiful sort of like balancing act between these things. The matriarch, having born and raised the family, is revered and protected for life. There's a sense in which she's at the heart of the family for life. Her security and honor inspires her daughters to emulate her, creating a legacy of strength and grace at the heart of the family. And part of what I'm trying to describe here is sons and daughters are watching the patriarch and matriarch to decide if this is a story I want to live into.
Yeah.
And what's happening is that they look at the father or grandfather and like, I wouldn't want to live that life. Like nobody respects that guy. Nobody treasures that woman. Look how she was abandoned by my dad or by my grandfather or whatever. This is really the root of so much of the corruption. And when you get into the church, even if you come from a really broken home, there's got to be a place somewhere where you see these roles played out. And this is the reason why when Paul says like, do not get divorced because you represent the connection between Christ and the church. He's saying, look, marriage is on display to demonstrate to the world the goodness of God and the story that we're living inside of. And in the same way, the patriarch and matriarchal story is really showing the sons and daughters. This is something that as I continue in life, I grow in respect. The mother, she grows in being cherished and adored by the family. And this creates a culture that inspires the sons and daughters. And it's part of what our culture has done that's so pernicious is it will take grandfathers and, honored grandfathers and grandmothers and say, you really should like bend around the grandchildren from an honor and, deference perspective. You don't realize what that actually does to the family when you basically say, like, we're going to honor the youngest members of the family the most is it gives them nothing to aspire to. It doesn't create this sense of which, whoa, my grandfather at head of the table, like, you start to see even that seven-year-old boy sees that grandfather and says, "Wow, like, that could be I want that to be me someday," and then inspires his a whole life of integrity because he wants to be noble because he can see that's what actually created that. Or a mother, like, watch, an eight-year-old granddaughter who looks at her grandmother and says, "Wow, like, look how she's cherished by her family. Look at this amazing life she has at this stage in her life." Like, this is what inspires, children to become the kinds of mothers and fathers that we want to see that create the multi-generational family. That's what this whole essay is really designed to try to tease out is that there are practices that create multi-generational family. And one of them is this honoring of the eldest members of the family.
Yeah, I think it's very biblical. And I know because we've seen abuses of this, it's hard for people to kind of picture or imagine what a healthy version of this is. But I just really encourage people to press into that. Okay, try to set aside the negatives that you know or the ways you've seen this mishandled and try to like press into the what do we know about God? What do we know about his father heart? What is he like? How does he see us children? What does he value? What does he think of us? And it's clear throughout scripture that we're very important to him, that he knit us together in our mother's womb, that he has plans for us and that he has a new name for us in the future. And like he knows us so well. And so thinking of the godlike aspects of a father, even if you don't have a good example, then you can try to become this for your family. And then that promotes in the downstream generations this, love and respect for the position
Right.
of father. And it allows that father or patriarch to lead, to cast a vision and to lead his family into health, taking risks that are going to have benefits on the other side. And then it allows the mother, the matriarch, to come alongside him and to do the hard work of adding team members to the family, whether that's through birth or through adoption, and all the work of, like, keeping the home fires burning and all of that to that she is honored through and into her older years when she starts to be more vulnerable, weaker, losing her, abilities to keep up with the way that maybe she has in the past, but being able to still have that place where she's not brushed aside, but is still honored and cherished as someone to look out for and take care of.